What you focus on in any moment powerfully impacts the meaning that you associate or that you assign to something. A lot of us, we focus by making pictures in our head. We think about in picture, oh, this person is disrespecting my time because they're not showing up at the time that we specified. Or we talk to ourselves and we represent that way. Oh, this person's yelling at me, so they obviously don't like me, or they don't love me because they're not spending enough time with me and they're doing all the other things that they care about. Right? We represent things and we focus on things in certain ways. Could you think of something right now that could make you scared and a little bit fearful? Something you're afraid of? Of course you can. Could you think about something that could make you sad, that could make you depressed right now? Of course you can. But the bottom line is, how many of you would go to a movie that was absolutely terrible over and over and over and over again and feel bad about it again? Does that sound very intelligent? Your friend says, oh, I'm going to this movie. It sucks. It's terrible. You ask them, like, how many times have you been to this movie? And they're like, oh, 4,000. And you're like, well, why would you go back there? Because I have to. Would you believe them? I don't believe you either when you tell me that. But I always believe in you. You don't need to go to those movies anymore. They're full of bad actors, bad directors, bad writers, bad producers. You're a better actor and producer and writer now, right? So we need to be careful about the things that we focus on. We have to be careful of how we represent the things in our mind, what meaning we come up with. But the meaning that we come up with is usually dictated by the questions we ask ourselves. The questions we ask ourselves normally come up with the meaning that we assign to something. So, in order to come up with a better meaning, we need to come up with a better answer. A better question, sorry. Not an answer. We need to come up with a better question. A lot of people say, they ask themselves, why is this happening to me? Why is the universe or God punishing me? Or are you asking, is this simply just the roll of the dice? Is this person dissing me or are they challenging me? Is this person hating on me or are they loving me? See, the better question you ask, the better answer you're going to get. So, what's wrong is always available. Pain is never out of season if you go shopping for it. So, we got to go to the metaphorical supermarket and we got to find the things that are going to empower us and not disempower us and make us feel really bad, right? Because the goal in life, success, in my opinion, is feeling the maximum amount of pleasure every day and very little pain. Now, pain is unavoidable. You're always going to feel pain, but suffering is optional. So, I just wanted to give you that little 2 cents for you guys. Be very mindful of the questions you're asking yourself and the things that you are focusing on a day-to-day basis. Are you focusing on the things that you have, or are you thinking about what's missing? Are you thinking about things that happened in the past, or are you thinking about the future? We can think about good things that happened in the past, but most of us, what we do is we think about the bad things that happen and not how we actually got through those terrible times, right? If you're able to think about this right now. Have you ever had a time where you went through something bad, it made you feel a certain way that wasn't the greatest, but you handled it very well, right? Think about that. Think about how you handled it very well and how good it felt to handle it, right? If you're able to focus on something that you were able to handle well and then potentially focus on something that might happen in the future and then also handle it very well and practice that in your head, your brain cannot distinguish something that's real versus what's not. Your brain cannot distinguish something that you have vividly imagined and something that has actually happened. So why not create a memory where you handled a situation very, very well, and then you could possibly handle it even better in the future so that you can feel the minimum amount of pain as possible. That's what I'm getting at, you guys. That's the true power. And we have full control of what happens in our mind. We don't have control over what happens on the outside, but we have control over what's on the inside. And that's just what I wanted to say. So I hope you guys found this video a little bit valuable. And what's something good that you're going to focus on today? Leave a comment below. Yeah.